to see you all via the medium of cyberspace in 2020. Today we're going to be doing a bit of time travelling. Are you ready for that, Rainbow Ted? I think we're going to put you up here for safety because I don't know what's going to happen. To be safe up there. Okay, should we try this? Right, I think we need to jump back quite a long way today. Should we try jumping back a whole decade? That's 10 years away. But we're jumping back in time, so we all need to jump together on 3. 3, 2, 1, jump! Did it work? Has anything changed? 2010 calendar. May 2010. There we go. I think it worked. I think we've jumped 10 years. That's pretty cool. Okay, so what else has changed? Rainbow Ted's changed colour a little bit. It's got a special pink and yellow paws for the centenary. And I've got my special pink top and sparkly necker. We have these for the centenary of Girl Guiding. So Girl Guiding was already 100 years old. So it's now over 110 years old. So yeah, it looks like we've jumped quite a bit. And I think in that decade we also celebrated 100 years of brownies and 100 years of senior section. And lots of people collected loads and loads and loads of badges. Guide's uniform changed a little bit, but not much. The guide uniform changed. This used to be the guide uniform 10 years ago. Here we go. Some of you might remember that. Now what else changed in that last 10 years? Let me think. Let me have a cup of tea while I think. Oh, yes. Footprints. We set up our 5th World Centre, Kingfisher, that travels across Africa. And Kingfisher means to journey, so their logo is the footprints. So there we go, have some feet. I wonder where we can go next. How far back do you think we have to go next? Should we try another 10 years? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Did it work? Where are we? Or shall I say, when are we? Oh, 2000. It worked. Here we go. 2000 is when I joined Rangers and Young Leaders, and this was our uniform at the time. Guides and the Brownies was a pretty similar uniform, but just a different colour. But I might show you that in another decade when they came out. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Rainbow Ted. Rainbow Ted's now a brownie. Gone backwards a bit, I think, but there we go. I haven't got the other uniforms, hence the empty washing line. But if you're a guide or a brownie and want to know what your uniform look like then, either wait and I might show you in a minute, or have a look online, see what you can find. What else have I got here? Maybe I should look a bit wider to see if there's anything different. Can't see much. I'll put this down a minute. Look wider. The Ranger programme and Young Leader programme in 2000. So this is what I worked on. It's called Look Wider, and there were 8 different sections. Pretty similar to the 6 different themes we've got now. So that was my Look Wider programme. I wonder what else we can look for. I don't know if there's much else. Should we try another decade? Should we travel again? Okay, let me see. How far back should we go this time? What do you think? Another 10 years? Why not? Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. I don't think we went back 10 years, guys. We haven't jumped high enough. I think we've gone back about 3 or 4 years, maybe. This is the guide uniform from a few years before, so the 90s. The guide handbook, badge book's in there somewhere as well. Got all the shiny badges. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to show you the other uniforms from the time, rainbows and brownies. Let's see. Oh, what's in my pocket? Aha, there's a brownie. Again, similar to the guide and ranger uniforms, just a different colour. And oh yes, there's a rainbow, the red tabard. So each group had a different colour. They could pick from 6 colours, but all the group had the same. So my group was red, and I love my red tabard. And then green hats for everybody if they wanted them. So that was the rainbow uniform. Quite different from the one you have now. I'll just put those away. Now, I wonder where we should go next. I think we need at least 10 years next, guys, otherwise we'll never get back as far as we want to, okay? So really big jump, 10, 11, 12 years. See how high you can jump this time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. So, when are we? 1985. Here we go. So the guide uniform, like that. To have the neckerchief, which a lot of you probably wear now. They still had that, but they had a smart blue blouse worn with a dark skirt. But on camp, they were allowed to wear a t-shirt and shorts. But what about the brownies? That's quite different. The brown dress. Now, try asking some of your family members if they recognise any of these. They had the brown dress with a crossover tie. And that's a lot different to what you're used to in brownies now. But hang on, there's something in the pocket. What on earth could be in here? In a brownie pocket, I wonder. There is a notebook. Very useful. A piece of string. Pencil. It goes with a notebook. It makes sense. A handkerchief. I don't think there's something else. It's a coin. What could it be? Oh, there's two things. We have a safety pin and a 10p coin. Now, what could you have done with those, I wonder? What do you think? Could they be really useful, even today? See what you can come up with, ways of being really useful, maybe in an emergency, with those things that were in the pocket. So, to remind you, it was a 10p coin, a safety pin, a handkerchief, a pencil, a piece of string, and a notebook. Something else from 1985, as you can see from this one, was the 75th anniversary of guiding. They did loads of things to celebrate, but one of them was to pass the flame of friendship all the way around the country so that you could all light celebratory birthday candles from the same thing. So I'm passing this to you now. You want to pass it around to somebody else. Could be via video, could be via phone call, could be via a drawing. Just find a guiding friend and pass it on to them. So, how far back do we go next? You ready to jump? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I feel like a really new person. I'm in the 70s, I think, by this lot. I think so. It's a brownie uniform. I remember being a guider in the 70s. I was a brand new guider. And now we're going into the 60s.
Well, I seem to be back to my old self. But maybe the next question isn't when are we, but where are we? Where do you think we could be? And when as well? I think maybe I'm in India at Sangam, which was the 4th World Centre, and that opened in the 1960s. And it's still open today, welcoming guides from all around the world. Maybe you'll get there one day if you haven't been already. Now, where do you reckon we could go next? Or when? You never know. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, oh dear. Definitely not myself anymore. Anyway, this was the guide uniform in the 1950s. And why am I a meerkat? Help! Somebody help! It's okay, I'm here really, but where is here? Where do you think? Lizards? Sombreros? Maybe I'm in Mexico, where our World Centre Al Cabana was opened in the 1950s. think that's probably about right. So we've done 2020, 2010, 2000, somewhere in the 90s, 85, 70s, 60s, 50s, and where do you think we're going next? Hopefully, with another big jump, we shall end up in the 40s somewhere. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. I think you've done it, girls. Well done. I think we've jumped our way all the way back to the 1940s. Unfortunately, half that decade was taken up with the war, World War II, and also unfortunately it was the decade in which Baden-Powell, the man who started the Scouts and Guides, passed away. But he left a legacy for the Guides, and the Rainbows and the Brownies and Rangers and Leaders ever since. This is what they looked like in the 1940s during the war. Guides actually did a lot of things during World War One and Two. I really recommend this book. If I recommend it to Rangers and Leaders, younger girls, I think if you want an adult to pick out some passages to read to you, that'd be really good as well. Basically, in the war, girls did loads of things. The Guides in the UK, in Poland, basically they're under siege by the enemy. They did really well. They kept the Guides going. They passed secret messages around. They looked after evacuees. They raised funds for ambulances. And they welcomed and taught evacuees and refugees. And there are stories of people recognising people just by their promise badges, which they had to keep hidden, and by doing guide salute. There's some lovely stories in that book, so I really recommend it. But at the moment, it looks like we're in 1945 by the bunting. VE Day, the end of the war in Europe. It wasn't quite the end for everybody, because Rangers and Leaders, they still formed part of the GIS, the Guides International Service. And this is a really good book as well. It's quite hard to get hold of, but if you can manage to get one, copy of this one. It tells what the girls did, the leaders did. They actually went into concentration camps, and they dealt with refugees as well all over Europe. So that's a really good one. But that one's hard to get hold of, but this one definitely you can get in ebook format. So even now, in 2020, you can read it without a visit to the library. So I recommend that one. But at the moment, like I said, we're in 1945. The bunting's up. It's VE Day. Let's celebrate with one thing, that we can all be together. We can all still talk to one another. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again. Some